Hello everybody, this is CDL1994 CDL here, doing a free MMO review of Dungeons & Dragons Online. Would it be as good as its original predecessor? Let's find out. Just like any other MMO, you can create a class that suits your gameplay style. If I recall correctly, there are about 10 different classes you can choose from. It can be up to a melee class, a spellcaster class, or a specialist class. Each class has their own specific designs that can help throughout any quests. What I like about it is the path. It can change your stats and skills while playing the game. Lastly, you can choose your race. It could be up to a dwarf, a halfling, an elf, and a human. Each race has their own strengths and weaknesses. For example, a dwarf has good strength but less intelligence, while a halfling is quite the opposite. Moving on to the game. First things first, it's the graphics. For a free-to-play game, this has some fairly good graphics and animations, like how the water moves. Personally, I'm not a nitpicky person about the graphics, but this might be a good first impression for new coming players. Later on in the game, I can go to the very first dungeon. What I like about the dungeon settings is that you can choose your difficulty, going from solo, normal, hard, elite, or epic. What makes this game great is dungeon crawling. You can do many things in a dungeon, but this is what struck me the most.
Action spell.
Her spell temporarily prevents you from dying, though you can still suffer injuries.
What you just heard there, folks, is the dungeon master of the game. The dungeon master basically tells you what situation you're in. I personally like it because, judging from its tune and how the voice acting is, it gives a good aura when you're playing the dungeon. After finishing the first dungeon of the game, I came across the starter town, named Korthos. This is where you'll be learning the game's mechanics, and after doing a few quests, I noticed something. There is actually a storyline in a free MMO. Like free MMOs like MapleStory, Fiesta, and RuneScape, all you basically do is hack and slash monsters with other people. It never really tells you why you're supposed to do it. It's just for the sole purpose of leveling up. In this game, however, you do the same thing, hack and slash monsters, but it gives you a reason why to. After finishing the storyline, you turn this ill-fated town to a bright and sunny town where everyone is free from danger. After finishing the storyline, you can travel to a new continent named Stormreach. In the new continent, you can travel many places, awaiting for new challenges to come. Since this is an MMO after all, you wanna know how good the community is. Well, here's a little summary for you. The community here is nice. If you get stuck on something, they will help you 9 times out of 10. To show you that what I say is true, I'm gonna ask something from the chat room and I will show you that what I say is true. Enough about the community. Let's talk about the gameplay. In this MMO, you're most likely to do quests. And what I like about it is that it's not one of those quests where you go from point A to point B killing monsters along the way. There are other things to do in a quests, such as puzzle solving. Most importantly, there are secret areas throughout the dungeon. After finishing a quest, that doesn't technically mean you're done. There are secret areas in the dungeon that you might not know of, such as this one. Of course, what I said is just a small part of the dungeon crawling experience. Of course, there are many things to do in a dungeon rather than just what I showed you. Aside from doing quests, you could also PvP in this game, meaning player versus player. In brawling arenas like this, you could battle anyone who enters it. Let me just see if I can kill anyone. It turns out that I'm still weak and I died. Who knew? In this game, you can also explore these things called wilderness areas. They're basically an open world where you can explore, sightsee, and kill monsters along the way. Overall, this game has good quality of graphics and gameplay, but you might be wondering, how could this be a free-to-play game? It sounds too good to be true. Maybe it is too good to be true. As you see, this game is free to play to an extent. You have to buy these things called adventure packs to unlock some parts of the game or be a VIP and pay $15 a month to unlock all the parts of the game. This is one of the quests for the VIP content. Free-to-play players will be missing out a lot. But overall, I will give this game a 4 out of 5. If you're new to the MMO genre, you might want to check this game out. Until then, goodbye.